Hello guys, my name is Ryan Freeman. Thank you for coming to my channel. As you can see, my eyes look terrible. I have had an allergic reaction to some skin medicine that I put on my forehead that ended up, because I was sweating after a hot bath and I put it on right after the hot bath, it just sort of liquefied and just dripped into my eyes, and I was really tired and lazy, and I just ignored it. It was the end of the night. I was exhausted. I had just spent the last 8 days eating very little food, stressing about a jiu-jitsu competition. And I just said, this must be nothing. And I went to bed, and well, it was something. That skin medicine got into my eyes, and I have had an allergic reaction. I wear sunglasses, but do you prefer sunglasses? It seems so impersonal. So I ended up, maybe you'll prefer sunglasses. Maybe you'll prefer sunglasses because these eyes have seen better days, and you've seen better eyes. But anyways, I end up waking up. My eyes are bloodshot. I've got gunk in my eyes. And it's the day of my big jiu-jitsu competition, this jiu-jitsu competition that I've been cutting weight, and I weigh myself on the scale and everything looks good. I'm tired a little bit, because my body, I've been pushing it a lot and I haven't been eating a lot, but I rally and I end up getting on the train just in time. High-speed rail is so convenient in Taiwan. You could just show up, and even if they have no reserve tickets, you can get an unreserved ticket and get on a train and whip across the entire island in an hour and 35 minutes. That's about the fastest train from Kaohsiung to Taipei. Taipei is on the other side of the island. It's in the very far north, and that is where they have the ASJJF, the big Taiwan International Jiu-Jitsu competition. They hold this twice a year. Oh God, it's so bad. They hold this twice a year. God, but I hate the sunglasses, sorry. They hold this twice a year. Last June was my first competition, my first time trying it. I didn't want to do it. I didn't have to cut weight, but I didn't want to do it. But my friends kind of pushed me to do it. My gym was all going. Everyone kept bugging me. And I felt like I wasn't part of the team unless I went. I didn't want to do it, and I went, and I loved it. I had such a great time. I got gold. I only had to fight one guy, because when you do jiu-jitsu competitions, you do it by the color of your belt, and I'm a purple belt, which is kind of higher. There's less of us. And then you could also do it by your weight category. I'm a middleweight. That's 82.1 kg and under. And you do it by age. Now, I could have done adults where there would have been more, but I did Masters 3, which is my age category. Age, I think it's like 41 to 46, something around there. So I only had to fight one guy last June. It was a really tough fight, barely won. I was completely in tunnel vision mode and not enjoying myself, really scared, very nervous. But I was so glad to get through that, to get gold and to make my team proud. And also just to see the team camaraderie, like so many people came through to help me out in that competition. Now, I moved to Kaohsiung and I had to say goodbye to my old gym, and the new gym I'm at is less competition focused. And none of the guys at my gym down here in Kaohsiung were gonna go do this tournament in Taipei. I didn't have any pressure from them, but I had one really good friend, Taiwanese American guy named Arthur, around my age, who started messaging me and pushing me from Taoyuan, from my old gym, pushing me to come up and say hello to everyone and do the competition. So I ended up signing up and blaming Arthur, resenting Arthur for pushing me to do it, because I didn't want to spend the money and the time to rush up to Taipei to do this competition, and that I might lose, that I just didn't take it seriously, and I didn't want to do it. And then finally I realized I'm going to have to do it. because there was another guy who signed up in my weight category, a different guy from UFC Taiwan, really nice guy named James. So I weighed myself 10 days ago, 9 days before the competition, and I was overweight. I was 80. You have to weigh yourself with your jiu-jitsu gi, which is a hefty set of clothes, and I was 3 kilograms overweight according to the scale at my gym. So I had 9 days to cut weight, so I started running, doing extra walks on top of jiu-jitsu practice, and eating less. I harshly, severely, austerely limited my food intake. And it was really tough the first few days, but it was tough the whole time. But I was able, I wasn't starving. I would have like 2 soft-boiled eggs for breakfast. And for lunch, I would have 2 dishes of vegetables and then another 2 eggs, and dinner would be maybe a salad and a chicken breast. I was eating, but I had cut out all rice, all sugar, all bread, and was eating a lot less. Mostly just protein and vegetables and some fruit. And I was losing weight, and every day I would go down to the scale in the health office at my school and weigh myself. And the health lady, who doesn't speak English, doesn't really know what I'm doing it for, is just laughing every day. She's like, "Oh, you're making progress, but just a little bit." And I'm shaking my head because it didn't look like I was going to be on track. So I got a little more severe with my diet restriction the last couple days and cut out salt. And then on the night before, took this hot bath, the skin ointment that I had on my skin mixed. I got some skin ointment that I got from a doctor for a little discoloration here. He gave me some ointment to put on, so I put that on. And after the hot bath, which I was trying to sweat out a lot of water, and it mixed with this medicine, and it just went into my eyes. And I laid down. Well, I was laying down when I started to feel something strange in my eyes, and I'm very sweaty because I took a piping hot bath. And I'm reading this book, and I'm exhausted. I've just completed 8 days of food restriction and working out, and just finished the semester. And tomorrow I've got this huge tournament that I'm very nervous about. There's going to be a lot of testosterone in the arena. I'm going to see all these people, all of my old friends who I haven't seen in months, from Taiwan. And I'm going to have to figure out the trains, So I've got stuff on my mind, and my body's weak. And I'm laying down reading a book, and I'm just really getting into this book. And the sweat starts dripping into my eyes, and I feel a little something like, that's not just sweat. But I thought, no, that's not the medication. I'll be fine. Lied to myself because I was lazy at that point. And I just put the book down shortly after, went to bed. And then I woke up yesterday, the day of the tournament, and I look in the mirror, and I just see it was hard to open my eyes because my eyes were shut, full of gunk. And my eyes were just bloodshot, looked terrible. And I'm like, what the hell? This whole last 9 days, I've been worried about losing, worried about, is my training good enough? Worried about my weight primarily. Sad that I can't eat, sad that I can't drink beer. And then now, this eye thing is the most, what the hell's happened to my eyes? And I knew it was the ointment that I put on right after a hot bath that went into my eyes, and I completely ignored it. What am I going to do? I thought, well, can I do the tournament like this? Well, I checked the scale, and I was underweight, actually. I had some weight to spare. So I'm like, well, I did not restrict although part of me wanted to call the whole thing off, I didn't want to show up to Taipei and see all my old friends looking like this, you know. Not to mention how I felt, you know, just looking at myself. But I'm like, I just killed myself the last 9 days cutting weight. And I made weight, and I've got a reservation. Everyone's expecting me. I'm going. So I ended up going, and I'm nervous. The train is fantastic. Whip across the island, and I go to this tournament, and I'm nervous. I see some of my old friends. They give me hugs. They wish me good luck. I get there like really spot on time. The tournament's been going on all day, but I got there like an hour before my match, and I should have been getting ready for my match, like putting on my clothes, but I was like waiting to the last minute. I just wasn't. I don't know. I was just sort of overwhelmed by the atmosphere. If you've ever been to a jiu-jitsu tournament, it's crowded, and it's also the venue, and there's a lot of like tough-looking guys in the room and a lot of energy. And as I walked into the venue, which was in Xinyi Sports Arena in Taipei, I saw a woman that I saw last June come out of the elevator on a wheelchair, holding her knee and groaning in pain. And I saw other people holding their various joints, groaning in pain. Like, jiu-jitsu is all sports. You can injure yourself, but a combat sports like jiu-jitsu, although we train and try to train as safely as possible, accidents happen in the gym. But in the gym, you're not really going 110%. You're not going that hard. I mean, you go hard sometimes, and injuries happen, but you're not really going. But in these tournaments, it's a completely different thing. You're really going at it, right? So I'm like, oh my God, Ryan, you've been worried about this weight, you've been worried about your fucking eyes, but you should be worried about your knees and your elbows. And the guy's picture, my competitor, he looked like a tough guy. And I was saddled at some self-doubt, some fears, some anxieties. But my friend's like, get ready for your match, Ryan, you're almost on. And then it just sort of clicked, you know. I'm like, okay, boom, get your gi on, get out of your head. I was so in my head with like thoughts and doubts. And finally I got my clothes on. I stepped on the scale. I was underweight. I was 80.9 on their scale, and I was supposed to only be like 82.1. So I was 1.2 kilograms underweight. So I could have had an extra meal or a small snack, you know, one of those days. But anyways, it was good. It was good. I made weight, and I'm still nervous, and I meet this guy, James, and he seems like a nice guy. Everyone in jiu-jitsu, although there's a lot of testosterone and people are tough, people are very respectful for the most part. And this guy was a really nice guy. He's around my size, my age, my skill level. So, you know what? I just sort of, I remember all of the times I've done public speaking, and I've done quite a lot of entertainment jobs and public speaking jobs through education. And I know what makes the difference between having a phenomenal performance and a bad performance. And it's always not letting your nerves overwhelm you, not letting your nerves prevent you from enjoying the moment and having fun, being playful. And I know that even in the gym in jiu-jitsu, the same thing happens. You know, if I'm nervous or worried, I don't perform as well. It's in class. The best way to perform is if I'm playful in the moment and all of my energy is just focused on what is happening right now and not thinking, not worrying, not anything like that. And so I just sort of switched into that. And then we got on the mats, and it ended up being a great match. I thought it was 5 minutes. My friend said it was 7 minutes. It went by very fast, and it was very intense. And I did so much better than my first tournament. The first tournament, which I won, but it was all nerves, all adrenaline. This one, I still had adrenaline, still had nerves, but I was able to channel those nerves, be in the moment, and actually have fun and be playful and be present. And I ended up winning that match really one-sidedly. I ended up controlling him from the beginning all the way to the end. Almost got a submission, but did not. My friends were cheering for me. I could hear all my Taiwan friends, and after they all gave me hugs. They took photos of me. I took a photo with them. It was so amazing to see my old team. I miss them very much. I knew I missed them. You know, followed them on Instagram, but to see them in the flesh and at an event that we all bond over, it was incredible. And then after that, I got my gold medal, and which is right here. My second Taiwan international, the biggest one in Taiwan. But like I said, I'm only fighting guys around my age, and only really one. So yeah, so then after that, I ended up going to Korean barbecue called Meat Love with 2 of my old teammates, and it was the best meal I've ever had. It was the best meal I've ever had. It was good Korean barbecue. But it wasn't just that it was good Korean barbecue, you know, with all the side dishes, you know, the sauces and the meat, and beer, oh my God. But it was because I had deprived myself through discipline for this event and had finished the event successfully that I truly enjoyed that meal more than any meal I've enjoyed. And I don't remember how long. And with my old friends, it was such an amazing time. And then after that, I got on the train easily, quickly, was back in Kaohsiung in my apartment. Where now today, the next day, I still have this eye thing. Went to the eye doctor, and he gave me some drops for it and some cream I'll put on tonight. So hopefully this will go away. Hopefully this is the only video where you'll be shocked to see my eyes. Just, I guess what I say is, you know, going to see the doctor in Taiwan, super easy, super efficient, super quick, very cheap. I cannot say enough about Taiwan's medical system. It was so easy to see the skin doctor. Unfortunately, some of that ointment got in my eyes. I had to go see the eye doctor, but he's provided a solution. No appointments, like very little paperwork, almost no paperwork. Flash some cards and see the doctor almost right away. Although today I ended up speaking mostly in Chinese. The clinic was a little outside of the city. And my Chinese isn't great, but it's getting better. But the value of discipline, the value of being part of a group and a community like the Jiu-Jitsu community, seeing old friends, and just kind of the roller coaster of life, and more than anything, channeling those nerves and being playful in the moment. It was a wonderful day yesterday. I was on a high, not just from the food and the beer, although that certainly helped. I was just on one of those victory highs, you know, of doing the weight cut first of all, and then winning, and then unfortunately the eye thing, but oh well. I just don't want to do it with sunglasses. Anyways, thank you guys for watching my video. My name's Ryan Freeman. Bye-bye.